What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for joining today. I am the owner and founder of Hardscape Growth Marketing Agency, specifically for hardscape and landscape companies, kind of getting them consistent estimates, busy and booked out. Today, we have the pleasure and honor of speaking with Anthony from Goldenscape. He's the owner of a landscape business down here up here actually, in Roseville, California. He's a client and a friend of mine at this point. And we're going to kind of talk about his journey as a business owner, someone starting from basically zero, all the way to where he is now. And we'll kind of let him go through that so we can learn from it as well. So thank you so much, Anthony, for kind of joining us.
100%, brother. Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for flying out. When you first told me about it, I thought you were just, like joking around or whatever, but we got to it. So I'm happy to be here.
Heck yeah, bro. I think this is going to be a good episode, bro. I think that obviously we talked yesterday, we kind of hung out. So just for everyone to know kind of the structure of how everything's going to go, it's going to be his process, his journey. So I like to make this to make sure that a lot of young landscapers are going to be watching this. You know, they look up to you. They want to be something that they can compare to you. And obviously you have goals that you haven't reached, but where you're at, they want to be. So I'm going to kind of go from the beginning, like where you been, where you started, the challenges, the failures, the hard times, and the kind of the mindset we need to kind of get past that.
For sure.
So to start us off, man, like kind of let us know, how did Goldenscape come to be? How did you get started?
Well, it's funny because when I first started my landscape company, it was about 3 years ago to the day, in August of 2021. And so when I first started, it was actually Notorious Outdoor Design, brother.
Okay.
I thought I was going to make it big, Notorious B.I.G. And it didn't really click.
That's pretty good though, man.
yeah, you like
pretty
that?
good, yeah.
So yeah, for like the first year, that's what it was. I started in Illinois. That's where I was born and raised. And then I came out here after like 4 months in business technically. And I came out to California, and that's where I really started taking it a little more serious. Things got a little more popping and stuff. And then I recently, it was only about a year ago, I changed my name to the Goldenscape company, which is what I have now.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how it came about, just because we live in the Golden State. We're kind of near to the Bay Area, So I got the Golden Gate Bridge. And then, that's how it came about. Yeah, man. I just, watching YouTube videos, and you get interested and you start thinking, I could do this.
Heck yeah. And like, so obviously you started with that. I mean, that's a great name, honestly. I think if we were, maybe we in 5 years, we'll rebrand.
It's funny because I told myself when I started Notorious Outdoor Design, I told myself okay, one of these days I'm going to change it. I'm going to just put it Notorious Outdoor Design for right now. One of these days something's going to click. I promise you, it has to click. And then Goldenscape came through, and I was like,
gotcha.
It
is good, though. Goldenscape is fire, bro.
Yeah,
So in the beginning,
nobody take that.
Yeah, he already has the domain.
Nobody
he already has the domain. But so in the beginning, you came out here, you came from Illinois. How was that? Like, what were the challenges? Kind of, you're in a new state.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you knew too many people out here. I don't know if you had that much, family connections, stuff like that. So what was that like, starting a brand new business here in Cali, with basically zero, not too much experience?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not just starting a brand new business. It's like obviously getting accustomed to a brand new set of life, like a new lifestyle, a brand new state and everything. Bro, it was, to say the least, to make it short and sweet, it was intense, man. I was pulling out my hair every single day, just because when I was at home, I had connections, I had friends that I could hit up, I had my brother, my family and everything, and they were my foundation, my support.
Yeah.
Coming out here is silly things, you get 2 pop tires or whatever. You don't know how to I didn't know how to. I was never that hands on, bro. I'm flipping pizzas in the kitchen. I could do that. Put me in a tire shop to change a couple tires. That's not me. So even a pop tire, I'm struggling. I'm scrambling, but bro, it turned me into a man. I came out here. I like to say I came out here as a boy with a goal. And I feel slowly it's been turning me into a man, yeah.
Heck yeah. No, I think that's huge. I think everyone needs, especially as a business owner, someone that's looking to grow, you kind of need that time in your life where you put your back against the wall. There's no other option. And going solo is a huge momentum building experience. It hurts. There is some painful experiences,
Bro, yeah.
but it's huge because you kind of need that.
Mm-hmm.
So you're out here, California, pop tires, all that. How was it getting your first couple clients? What were the biggest challenge you faces? How did that go?
Well, so Before I came out to California, I was only on Nextdoor. So it was like it's like the Twitter for old people is what I like to call it.
Okay.
Nextdoor, I was just like promoting myself, you know, not really as a business, but more than anything, just letting people know, hey guys, I'm local to the area. You know, I can do like, you know, mulching, planting, trimming jobs and stuff like that. And so I was getting small jobs like that. And that's when it like, I started realizing like, okay, I could actually do this, you know? So when I came out to California, I tried the same thing. The only problem is, and I did not know this, like people are calling me an idiot because I didn't know this, whatever. I didn't know that you needed a license out here to operate. So I came out here and I was like, oh, it's going to be sweet. You know, it's going to be just like Illinois. No. So when I first like, you know, talking to a couple people, they were like, oh, well, are you licensed? You know, because you're not supposed to do any jobs that are more than $500, which is practically I'm mowing your lawn.
Yeah, literally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially in California. So
pennies.
Yeah, seriously. And so yeah, man, it was difficult at first. You know, I kind of knew the lane that I had to stay in to where it was like smaller planting, mulching jobs where like, you know, of course they're more than $500, but at the end of the day, I'm not risking, you know, because people go to jail for not having a license. You know, you can get a fat citation at the least. So yeah, that's just like the challenges that were presented to me. But really, it was just again like advertising on the Nextdoor, and it wasn't me advertising as a business. It's me advertising me for who I am. You know, like, hey man, let me build my reputation on my own. You know, and that's really how it started.
Heck yeah, yeah. I mean, Nextdoor, I've talked to a good amount of clients that start there, or that, you know, that's still like they work with me, but they still have their name out there.
I'll still post every now and then, just because, like, again, it's Twitter for old people.
Exactly, and that's money, man.
Love to talk. They love to talk, bro.
Yeah.
So you do good work, Nextdoor will find out.
Yeah, exactly. And
same thing if you do bad work, though.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's gonna spread regardless. So just make sure you're doing your part. Yeah, that's huge. And like for Nextdoor, Google My Business, Yelp, like. I tell all my clients, even though you want to be in control of your own lead generation, you want to be able to pull a lever and get clients. That's the name of the game for a consistent business that either you want to scale to, you know, 7 figures or sell at a multiple, you know. By the end of the day, you need to be able to pull your own levers, but never lose your roots in the sense of like Google My Business. That's free calls. You know, that's getting reviews. That's people looking you up saying pavers near me, landscape design near me, and you're popping up. You know, that's huge. Like that's your foundation. You know, so. That being said, obviously you were there, Nextdoor, kind of just word of mouth. What was the big game changer for you? What decided, like, what from, you came here, you know, you worked hard, you kind of got your name out there, got a couple jobs. What turned Goldenscape into a business?
Man, for me, it was like, it's hard because, like, for the longest time, I thought I was a business. You know, like, I really thought, like, in my mentality, I was, like, a good business. So I thought I was doing well. But then, you know, and I'm going to give you a free plug real quick. I got you. When I started working with Hardscape Growth, that's really what changed everything. And I'm not just saying that, you know, because you and I are here or whatever. I'm telling you the truth, because keeping a consistent schedule, bro, is literally the hardest part about this business. You can find a hard worker anywhere. You can find someone that's able to manage a job site, this and that, right? Run the numbers, all that. Keeping a consistent schedule, though, is seriously like the part that if you can't do that, don't worry about how good your work is. Don't worry about your reputation. You won't make it. And so that was my struggle, is like keeping my schedule consistent, but also I'm in the field. I'm working all day. I'm doing quotes. I'm doing designs. I'm doing all this. So like I couldn't like always like generate leads how I wanted to, you know? And so then after talking to you, you know, we gave it a shot through Meta advertising. You were telling me like, you know, like we'll get you a website. We'll start promoting you on my Google and all that, you know, and that's really when like I can honestly say that changed my business for 10 times better, dude. Yeah, it's really just having those consistent leads that I'm not even going out and getting. Now we're making a little advertisement video. We post that. Generates a bunch of leads, local leads, and then all I have to do is contact them and close that sale. Love that, bro.
Yeah.
Love that. You know? Because the thing is, the other alternative to something similar to that is getting people to go door knocking, and that is, bro, that 1990 stuff, you know? You can't be door knocking, you can't be doing that type of stuff. So unless I have a crew of like 10 little high school kids that are willing to, you know, willing
work for pennies.
Exactly, work for pennies. then, you know, you're never going to get as many leads as you need to have a successful schedule or a business.
Yeah, I agree. And so for a lot of guys that, you know, are, how do I say it? On the fence, skeptical. Again, bro, we've talked. We know a lot of us, even myself, and I run a marketing agency. I get hit up by a whole bunch of marketing agencies.
Yeah. You
that,
need a marketer?
yes, exactly, bro. And they're calling you up saying, I guarantee you $2 million in 2 months or whatever, X, Y, and Z, you know, just blowing steam. What kind of made you make the decision on like, yeah, I'll give this guy a shot, you know? And like what helped you make that decision? Plus, what would you say to someone else that's looking at this or kind of my content or anything like that in sense of just like, I don't know if I want to go with him yet.
Yeah. Well, my biggest thing that like persuaded me to go with you, honestly, was the fact that you were like, well organized, at least like your profile on Instagram, like all your content is well organized. It's like straight to the point, and you know exactly what you're getting with you. And then on top of that, when I was telling you, you know, I may be interested in hiring you guys as my marketing agency, you had a presentation, you were showing me, you know, like, this is what we do, this is how we do it, this is what, like, it's going to take some time, so I'm not promising you the world right now, but if we stick through it, give me 3 months, and by the time those 3 months are over, I promise you're not going to want to leave. Boom. I was like, okay, like, that sounds legit. And I was talking to a few other, like, marketing guys and whatnot, and, like, I really wouldn't even call them marketing agencies. They were just marketing guys that wanted to, like, manage my advertisement, you know? And, like, whereas with you, I can see you're a real business. I can see it's, like, a legitimate agency where, like, you know, you have your team behind you. You're doing what needs to be done. But these guys, they were just, like, sloppy, just amateur hour. So I was not really with it. And so, I mean, it was, like, night and day, bro. You know, like, it's just, like, comparing apples to oranges, brother. Like, and, yeah, it's just, like, your professionalism, and more than anything, just the lack of professionalism in the industry, you know? Like, that's really what it did.
Yeah, he told me when we were out last night, he told me my daily morning miles, you know, they went.
Bro, if your marketer does not wake up at 7 a.m. to go run 4 miles and post that, I don't want him marketing from you, bro.
So anyone that's a marketing agency watching this, just make sure you're on that grind. You know, you're running those miles, or else you're not.
And it's not just about working for a business, because I see a lot of hardworking people. They post a lot like, "Oh, I can market for you, this and that," and they make good videos. They make good this and that. But like, it's like, okay, what do you do when you're not marketing? I want to know that. And the way that you're just showing, you know, your life through your Instagram a little bit. And I saw like, okay, this man, like, you know, he reads the Bible, whether you believe in religion or not, any of that, that's a whole nother podcast. But at the end of the day, I want someone that's at least a little bit more disciplined enough to be reading the Bible, whether they believe it or not, or whatever it is. That shows discipline, and that shows more than anything, a want for knowledge, you know? So that to me is like a big thing. And then on top of that, you're running, you're eating good, you're in the gym, man, swole than me.
I'm trying to get there, dog.
You came through yesterday. I was like, okay, this man built. You're taller than I expected too.
Yo,
so
same,
I was like,
same, bro.
I was
Taller
like,
than I expected too. I was like, yo, this guy is tall, bro.
No, man. But it goes to show, you know, that you're working in all your aspects in life, not just the business, because business is cool, but you got to be an all around good person. You know?
Heck yeah, that's huge. I think that's a good segue to kind of what I want to bring up right now, and it's like, marketing, business, life, all of this, you know, it's a grind. You know, at the end of the day, nothing's easy. So like, obviously, you know, you gave me a great, you know, referral recommendation plug, and I know, and I appreciate that. But at the end of the day, we had negatives in our experience as well. You know, it wasn't all just up and ups, and we just weren't killing it the entire time. It's a journey where we've become partners through this, you know? And kind of, I get the main issue or the main problem people that are kind of scared with marketing is they're not selling referrals anymore. They're selling leads. You know, it's a different ballgame, bro. Getting referred from somebody and selling someone that just seen an ad, you know? So how was that adjustment for you? Like from selling referrals to selling leads?
Yeah, I mean, the biggest adjustment is like, you know, it comes down to like the people that you're talking to, they're just way more interested in you now that they like kind of know who you are. They reached out to you for a reason, you know, because you're asking basically like, what's the difference in the client type, or
like what's like, did you have to overcome any? Because okay, I would say with referrals, you know, the norm is like you did their neighbor's job, and now they want you to do it. So like they're already sold.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when a lead comes in, usually they have other bids.
Okay.
You know, you have competitors. So how do you feel like you've been able to overcome that?
Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the biggest thing for me is like, one, I know that they filled out my form on whether it be Facebook or Instagram,
yeah.
right? So I always, like, if I text them or whatever, like, hey, you know, I will send them my Instagram page, usually my Instagram page, just to refresh the reminder. Cause like a lot of the times I'll talk to people and they'll be like, oh, which company were you again? Like, no, I'm gonna just send you my Instagram. So that way, you know, I'm active on there, kind of.
Yeah.
That way, you know, like, you know, we're doing projects all day long. Like, we're not just like, you know, hoping and praying for you to hire us. Like we're booked, we're scheduled, like we do good work. So just kind of,
like, we want you. We don't need you.
Like establishing like some form of like reputation before you even get there is the biggest thing, you know, because by the time I get there, then they already kind of have an idea like, okay, this guy's legit, you know, like he's not just coming here to give me a bid. He's coming here to like potentially do a project for me. You know, it's different. And so, yeah, just like establishing your credibility and stuff like that. And then on top of that, it's also like just knowing how to talk to people, man. Like a lot of people would just go up to like, you know, like they're sweating, they're this and that. And like, they're kind of nervous. Like, bro, don't be nervous. What, they going to tell you no? Okay, cool. Like
on to the next.
I'll go to ring your neighbor's doorbell. I'm already here, you know, like it's that simple, man. Like you don't care. I don't care if people tell me no. Sure. Sometimes it sucks when you put in like, you know, multiple hours on a client or whatever, but that's the name of the game. You know, like you have to take that on the chin and just know that, okay, for every one client that you get that you just wasted 5 hours on, you also have that one client that you give them a bid, you say $20,000 on a $15,000 project, and they're like, no problem, you know, like, cause they know you, they seen your work, that like they have full confidence in you, you know, so like it goes both ways.
It's huge. Yeah. I think that's a big conversation that we had in the beginning, that honestly, I think by setting those expectations, like I was like, I'm not one of those agencies that's going to guarantee you success.
Yeah.
Like I can tell you that we're going to make it happen and we're going to get you the results we're looking for, but I'm not going to be like, oh, $1 million in 3 months. And the reason why is because I'm going to create opportunities for you. And your job is to sell, perform, and show value to that client and close them. And at the end of the day, like I have these conversations like to manage expectations almost every day at this point. And it's like, I promise you, I will get you in front of the right people. Now, there's other people in front of the right people too. You know, I'm not the only one doing it, and I'm gonna do my best. Like something that you just shared, that's huge. Like it's a huge golden nugget. Is he gets a lead, he gets their name, number, email, all that information, what they want, et cetera, et cetera. He sends them that text, but the extra step that he did to separate himself from everyone else is send them their Instagram. Like no one else, I promise you, they've filled out 4 or 5 different, you know, leads or forms or whatever, but none of his other competitors sent them their Instagram. And that little step right there can make you the difference between like you said, like a regular coming out to give a bid versus like they're actually a little bit excited for you to come out and like actually show them like, oh, this is what I think for this and this is what I think you should do for this. And they're so much more receptive because of the fact they view you as authority in your space now. So that's huge. I mean, bro, like if you're watching and you're a landscape business owner, like steal it. Don't let that one disappear from you. Because
unless you're in the Roseville area, then keep sending those boring, dull text messages. I promise you that.
And it's that alone, bro, was huge.
Yeah.
So I guess kind of, no, let's talk numbers, you know, business wise. And obviously we don't have a spreadsheet in front of us, but kind of in a sense of, I think this is the part where people kind of have a disconnect with marketing and advertising and just business in general. It's a numbers game. It's math. You know, it's like, yes, there's emotions, there's sales, there's persuasion. But at the end of the day, you need to know your month. You need to know your numbers for the month, for the day, for everything in that nature. So when you're running marketing, people will be like, oh, I got 3 crappy leads. I'm done. I'm tired of this. But when you don't realize like it's a numbers game and, you know, return on investment and things of that. So what would you say and again, we don't have the numbers in front of us, but return on investment for your, you know, spend on us and marketing, what would you think that, you know, equaled for you?
Well, I mean, so return on investment would include me paying you guys also the money that I'm adding for ad spend, correct? Right? Yep. So let's just put it this way. If I spent maybe $10K in the last 5 months with you, right? Okay. In the last 5 months, I've sold maybe 140.
Okay.
So more, you know,
Okay.
like, so I'm not looking at those 10K and thinking
Yeah.
like, damn, bro, like, you know, it's a waste of money. Like, I can't believe it. And I'm not trying to penny pinch. That's part of that's my overhead costs. Like,
Yeah.
no debate about it. That's like paying rent to me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because if I don't pay that, like, then the leads, then it's back to the next door. It's bad to the struggling, you know, and stuff like that. So, I mean, I couldn't tell you exactly how much I spent, but I know that like the return on it has to be like 10x more than
Yeah,
10x, bro.
100%.
And it's like, get Grant Cardone on the phone, brother. This man is 10xing. I'm telling you, yeah, no, that's true because like I was listening to some guy on Instagram, I think, or something like that, and he was talking about if you want to make whatever it is you want to make, 5% of that has to go into advertisement, at least minimum. And so I was like looking like at my numbers, like how much am I spending on advertisement? You know, like maybe this is why my schedule isn't so consistent. Blah blah blah. I realized like, oh, I'm only spending like $500 on advertisements right now, you know, and that was me getting leads off of like Angie List, like the, you know, like the pay for the leads.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that was a big, that was expensive to me back then, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean,
it's just a different game.
Exactly.
It opens your eyes. Like when you hear these big dogs talking
you
about,
can't really think about it like that, you know, like, cause if you're thinking like, what, I'm gonna spend $1,000 on Instagram ads? Like,
yeah.
Like, bro, like you're not gonna spend it cause it's gonna pay for itself.
100%.
If you're good at selling, and if you're not, then
that's another problem.
Good luck to you.
That's another issue, you know. I mean, but you gotta have the volume to figure out if you suck or not. You know, you
get better with experience. So like if you're not in front of like, sure, you could be doing 1 quote per week. You better absolutely demolish that quote. Otherwise, you know, like who's the next not for another week.
And you're not
like,
getting any practice. You're not getting any type of reps.
Exactly.
So that makes sense. And then like with, I guess here, there's 2 more questions that I kind of really want to hammer down on just because I feel like they'll be very beneficial. Scaling. You've been scaling, I would say, you know, pretty quickly as these last couple months, you know, growing the business, kind of growing, getting more consistent, you know?
Okay.
So in that sense, I guess my first question would be, what has been the hardest part about it? Like, like we're scaling, things are going well, you're booking more jobs, you're staying booked out. What has been the biggest challenges kind of navigating, you know, becoming this type of business and scaling at this point?
I think, damn, that's tough. That's tough because there's a lot of challenges obviously that come with scaling, but I think the biggest challenge is probably the fact that like once you get to a certain point, because bro, when I was like back then going to like little jobs or whatever, you know, and it was just me, I didn't have to worry about my workers, I didn't have to worry about my machines and anything. It was so much simpler, and I feel like I almost had more money just to spend, you know?
Yeah.
Nowadays, like, sure, I have like a lot more money coming in, a lot more money going out. So like, it's really just managing, and like, it goes back to knowing your numbers, managing like everything that you're doing financially so that there's no surprises at the end of the month, you know, like, oh man, like, can I afford this extra machine? Can I do that? Can I get that extra guy? This and that, you know, like now, you know, for certain, okay, I can afford this extra machine. I can get that extra guy. I can look for, you know, whatever it is. And so I think the biggest struggle was growing and like just you yourself growing with the business, you know, like you got to like start taking on like different roles, like really get into that admin work, you know, like get like, you know, if you don't have an assistant right now, bro, you better be the best assistant you possibly can for yourself. Cause that is probably one of the most important things in this business, you know, like, cause again, you can have great work, you can have all that and a good marketing team or whatever. But if your numbers are not there and, you know, like you're not growing with your business, you're gonna tank, you know.
Yeah, if you're not profiting,
exactly,
your
bro.
business is just circular. It's not you're not gonna put anything in the bank.
Just praying.
Yeah, you're just hoping for the best next year, you know. And I agree. I think that's huge. Like just tracking your numbers, even for any business. That's just like we tend to overlook it because we're like, oh, we have 15K in the bank account, right, or 20K, like. But you don't even know what amount is that. How much is actually staying? How much is the business have to repay out to your workers, to labor, to materials, to all that, taxes, all of that stuff. And so I guess to ask you, like with Richie, I know you saw our interview. From him, it was even like a crazier transformation because I got him from zero, you know, from the ground up. And now he's hitting 7 figures this year, you know, so it's like a huge, crazy transformation. So for you, if you're comfortable, you don't have to be like extremely specific. I know we started when you were like at 20K-ish around there, kind of. That's where we started. Where would you say the growth has been from there?
I mean, I got the numbers. Like, I know the numbers, so I know the numbers now. But yeah, I mean, it's been like double that now on like a regular basis.
Okay.
And then like, really my goal is to hit 50K per month. That for me is like where like a good sweet spot right now, you know? Obviously, like for a lot of people that might be low, for some people that might be crazy high, you know, but like it all comes again with the growth of your business, you know, like you're getting more machines, you're getting this and that. So, I mean, 50K right now is like a solid goal, you know, but I would say we're around 45 to, and we do hit the goal. We go past the goal sometimes. So like 45 to 55 is really where we're at.
Huge. So we went like a double. Yeah. It was like a 2x.
And you know, it's crazy because we started working in February.
It was the beginning of...
Might have been January. It was like the beginning of the year, right?
Yeah.
And obviously, like, you know, like January is super slow or whatever, but like, I don't think I've had like anything less than like 40K since we started, literally. And that's crazy, you know? Like, it was like almost an immediate shift. And like, you told me, like, don't expect immediate results or whatever, but I saw immediate results.
I remember the first day. I remember we got like 3 estimates in like 3 days, something like that.
Like, damn, is this easy? I should have been doing this from the start, bro. Seriously.
So, I mean, a 2x is huge, bro. And this is just the beginning at the end of the day, you know.
And people hear 2x and they get confused. They think like, oh, he only doubled his numbers. Like, you should be 10x and everything. 10x. You can only 10x in the beginning so much, you know, until you get so big to the point where now it's like 2x, 3x. Sure, I'll 1.5x. That's still better than, you know, like where, like, obviously that's growing.
Heck yeah. I mean, growing your business from 20K to 45, 50K, that's growth. And then at the end of the day, we know what we're spending. We know what we're working for. And we know like our competitors. And so we have a game plan in place to be like, all right, like once we feel stable enough, because at the end of the day, well, let's say we wanted to scale up ad budget, scale up spend, but we're not ready for that yet. You know, we need the workers. We need to know that everything is profitable. If you scale for just to scale, that's how you end up crashing and burning, you know, at the end of the day. So stable, consistent growth is the name of the game at the end of the day. You know, just saying I went from, let's say, 20 to 120 in 3 months. Yeah, that's a great like thumbnail. But if your infrastructure is not built for that, you know, it's going to come crashing down.
Especially in this generation where it's like, okay, like you just want to be quick to like you said, get that thumbnail.
Yeah,
so like,
exactly.
people will see like, okay, I went from 20 to 120 in 3 months, whatever. People don't see like, oh, but you're also like, sure, you sold 120K this month, but like you are so far deep in like the hole, brother, that you're going to need another 120K just to get leveled.
100%.
So it's like, you know, like people see like, oh, he's doing big jobs, he has a bunch of money, like this and that. Like, bro, it's not always what it seems, because I could tell you from firsthand experience, you could be selling a $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 job and still lose on that job.
100%.
And people are like, well, how'd you lose money on my job? This and that.
Anything.
Everything.
Yeah.
How didn't I lose money, bro? Like, yeah, I'm out here, like, it's tough, man. But, I mean, that just comes with experience, especially with someone like me, man, that, like, I literally, like, when my first job, again, 3 years ago, and I was looking through the Snapchat stories. 3 years ago, it was a planting job. And I was YouTubing everything, how to take out plants, how to plant a plant. Bro, I true story. I drove 2 hours to Indiana from Chicago to Indiana to go get this one little jack. It's like it's called the farmer's jack.
Okay.
And you can tie it to a bush just to take it out. Okay. Went 2 hours, drove 2 hours back to get that. Bro, I kid you not, my brother just told me, he's like, bro, just dig it out with a shovel.
Nice.
I'm like, but like they look so big, you know, like, bro, I'm gonna be here all day. Easiest little dude. I still have that farmer's jack though.
Hey, that's lessons of the trade, man.
Yeah, bro, that's lessons. I'm telling you, especially when you start off not knowing anything about anything. Like, I'm telling you, bro, I never even like, I don't think I held a power drill in my hand until like wild. I was like 20.
You really
bro,
started
you know?
from like
bro,
0-0.
I was like just like that kid that was just like, you know, like just I don't want to get my hands dirty, none of that shit. Like, bro, like, yeah, I just wanted to be comfortable, man. But like that's the biggest part about leaving Illinois is like I needed to be uncomfortable. I needed to get out of my comfort zone.
Growth.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's how you grow, bro.
Heck yeah. And what's next, man? What's like obviously we were talking yesterday about kind of getting into all spheres of marketing and just really getting our name to the next level. You know, in this economy of marketing, it's changing. Like simple ads don't do the same as we used to. People are getting more sophisticated. They're getting less trustworthy. And so we're looking to take our marketing to the next level to kind of hit these 7-figure goals that we want to achieve at a good time.
Yeah.
So, but what in your brain, if I had to ask you, like, Goldenscape in the next 6 to 12 months, what does that look like for you?
In the next 6 to 12 months, I mean, to be fair, at the beginning of this year, I told myself I'm not focused on growing. I want to maintain where I'm at and dial that in. I feel like I've done that a lot more than, I even anticipated. So next year, this year's already over. Like, I'm good. I'm booked until the end of the year. Like, I know that we're going to do good and, like, it'll be fine. Next year, though, I'm really wanting to basically, like, I'm going to take the off season, which is January, February, because it rains so much here. I'm going to take the off season to really, like, stack my schedule, get comfortable where, like, okay, I know I got big jobs. Now I've, like, established my reputation for doing these, like, more transformative jobs and stuff like that. So I can bank on that to, like, get my schedule filled up. And then basically I really want to hire, like, 2 more guys, which would be a foreman and then a driver. And then I would like to just scale my fleet, which is like, I want to get a new truck. I want to get like this and that. I want to have the diamond chain. No, but I do want to get a new truck. I want to get some cooler equipment and stuff like that. But it's not to, like, boost my ego. It's because, like, I genuinely feel like at this point in my business, if I had those things, man, I would grow, like, immense amount, and, like, some people aren't at that stage, but they've convinced themselves that they are at that stage. So then they'll get that new truck, they'll get that new machine or whatever. And then it kind of, like, backfires,
Yeah.
So that's why I held off, because I'm super impulsive when it comes to stuff like that, bro. So I told myself, like, okay, I'm going to hold off this year. I'm not thinking about no machines, no this, no that. And next year we'll go hard. So next year, what I see for myself is, just getting, at least adding to my fleet, adding to my crew. And really, like I told you yesterday, I've been getting out of the job sites a little bit more, I obviously I still have my days where I'm in there. I'm, like, doing the grunt of the labor and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I want to get out of that just so that I could be all day, whether it's promotion on Instagram, whether it's, like, going out and doing leads, whether it's, I do virtual designs. People hire virtual designers and stuff like that. Sure, maybe if you're charging $10K for a virtual design and you want to go sub it out to some dude in the Philippines for $500, sure, be your guest, But I'm selling those things for $1,500, So, like, I'm trying to profit all of that.
Yeah.
First of all, so I do, designs will take you 3, 4, 5 hours sometimes, And so, like, people, like, overlook these things, but it's like, if you want to get to that next level, you need to either find a good designer, find a good marketer, find a good assistant, or be those things yourself. But you got to know yourself, You got to know what you're good at.
We all got limits at the end of the day, bro.
Yeah.
To do all of that yourself is crazy.
And I feel like I'm Superman because I feel like I could do everything. But at the end of the day, bro, it's been proven I can't do everything. So that's when you start reaching out to see, like, all right, who can I delegate this shit to?
Exactly. I don't want to be doing that's important, bro. Delegation is the number one priority of a CEO or founder of a business.
Yeah.
The better you can delegate, the better you can grow your business. Because at the end of the day, you got to focus on your strengths. And for you, obviously, like you're telling me, sales, talking to people, getting, building relationships, your content, that's your number one lever that you can pull that no one else in your business can. So it's like pointing all your attention to that and let everyone else deal with the rest. That's, that make sure that they're good at what they do, obviously, but just letting them take care of that so you can take care of the number one, lever in your business.
100%.
But bro, I think to kind of close us off, and this piece, I think this has been super valuable. I think a lot of younger landscapers, even landscapers that are maybe even ahead of you, but they've learned the golden nuggets that you kind of let them know, just so they can implement it into their lead generation process and to their process of just closing more estimates and getting more consistent. Bro, I'm excited for our future. 100%. I think that, bro, I want to, even though thumbnails and everything, but I will get 7-figure thumbnail for him. Don't worry, that's gonna happen.
100%, bro. 100%.
It's in the process where we're making it happen. But bro, I'm grateful for our friendship. At this point, we're hanging out, having a good time in Sacramento. I live in Florida.
Yeah, seriously, no, buddy flew out here all the way out from Florida to Sacramento. So props to you, man. That's called knowing what you want and going after it, man.
You have to, bro. In this game, that's what you got to do no matter what. But final shout outs, I guess. if you are in the Roseville, California area, looking for something beautiful to transform your outdoor space, I mean, check out his Instagram. I'm gonna link it down below. The Goldenscape .co on Instagram. I'll link it if I said it wrong, but it'll be linked. I'll link the website. I'll link everything that you need to know. He does amazing work. His content's pretty funny as well. Maybe one of the only landscapers out there with a personality. So hey, if you're gonna hire someone, I recommend him if you're in the Roseville or any surrounding area. And if you are a hardscape landscape business owner and you're looking to scale, you're tired of kind of staying at the same spot, what you need is volume in your business. You need consistency. And if you want to have that conversation, feel free to click the link down below. I'm not a huge sales guy. Obviously, I'm going to try to tell you that this will be good for you, but it's going to be an authentic conversation. We're going to look over your Facebook. We're going to look over your Instagram. We're going to look over your website. We're going to do an audit on everything that you have going. And I'll show you what I do for my clients. And if that makes sense to you, then it'll be for you. If it doesn't, then it won't. But I thank you guys so much for watching. I thank you, Anthony, for hopping on and taking the time. It was a great time. And yeah, guys, I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. See you guys.